All right, now let's get you caught up to the major developments tonight. That's in the search for answers into Tuesday's shooting. We now know the Department of Justice will review law enforcement's response. Local police drawing scrutiny for waiting to barge into the classroom and kill the gunman. Even as kids inside, they begged 911 dispatchers for help. The gunman was inside the school for 1 hour and 17 minutes. Now I want to bring in my colleague, KENS 5 reporter Matt Houston. Matt, because I think there's a lot of questions into what this review will look like. What have you learned? What insight have you learned tonight?
Well, first and foremost, Henry, it's important and helpful to think about this, as you said, as a review and not an investigation. The Justice Department is trying to determine what happened, though not necessarily to prosecute or charge any of the law enforcement officers who responded. Another thing worth noting here is the agency involved in all of this, well, they don't usually handle after-action reviews.
Uvalde Mayor Don McLaughlin asked the feds for this review. He'd expressed frustration law enforcement couldn't get its story straight last week.
Once we know what took place, what went down, we'll get to the bottom of it and see. I've been just as confused as you are.
Today, the DOJ says it'll provide an independent account of law enforcement's response in a special report. Former federal prosecutor Greg Sofer argued Uvalde-based cases. He says he doesn't think the feds intend to charge anyone with a crime here.
If you were looking to do that, the last thing you would do is send in another team to start looking at exactly the same ground. It would only complicate things and make it more and more difficult for the prosecutors and investigators.
It appears for now the DOJ wants to identify lessons learned, which could help shape future policy. Instead of using the FBI for this review, the DOJ will send the Office of Community Policing Services, that's COPS for short.
Obviously, the way that you develop policy many times is by learning about the mistakes in the past.
Sofer says COPS would be just the office for that, since their primary purpose is to help law enforcement be better. Mostly, COPS administers grants and helps write playbooks for scenarios like this one.
Sofer says COPS does not have subpoena authority, which may make acquiring interviews a little difficult on them. Since they don't usually do after-action reviews, this is a somewhat peculiar move by the Justice Department. They will establish a timeline, though, so this all may really be a look back to help shape policy for the future. Live on the Northwest Side, I'm Matt Houston, KENS 5. Thanks
so much, Matt, and it's certainly an important look back as to what exactly unfolded there. Even driving in today into this town, you're just seeing so many memorials, people from all over, definitely long lines, but we want to get you to 3 different videos just to show you of exactly what is happening in this community. I want to start here as thousands of people waiting in line throughout the day to mourn at Robb Elementary School. What you're looking at right now is more of like a time-lapse video from today. I mean, you can see in this video people using umbrellas to shade themselves as they waited. And actually on my way into the center of town, this memorial actually caught my eye. There's crosses everywhere, but this one is right at a daycare center here, and they set up chairs for all the children and the 2 teachers who were killed. Pretty moving. I mean, it has their names on them. People were showing up, leaving their messages. It's certainly one where a lot of people were just sitting there praying. I saw a woman just show up, just reading her Bible as she looked at the names and looked at this memorial.